I don't know about you, but I look pretty good in green and blue, considering my eye color. Even tan, you know. I'm watching this. This was just uploaded today, about 3 hours ago, actually. The CCFR is broadcasting the record bust. Congratulations, all of you. I'm sure it was rather risky, and the only way that would have come about is by good police work, which is number one: observe and report, collect information, right? The smoking gun, establish a chain of evidence, interview and look into known associates, and then also the fifth one is just me making intellectual bibble babble, is to understand the motives of the person, right? So that's profiling, right? That's criminology. Everybody takes that, right? Everyone goes to police college and then goes to university, and everyone thinks they're equipped to deconstruct the person thereafter. But just because you have a sociology or a psychology degree doesn't mean you understand people. We can make some grand errors in investigations, and even if it's journalistic or it's historical or it's forensic psychology, because every time that you make an assumption, naturally someone dies unnecessarily, and it could be a key witness. Again, congratulations to the London Police Department. It's good that you guys got a win. Obviously we don't have a great relationship right now, and as much as I would like that to change, I still got gears to grind with you. That's the way it is right now. I got problems with the policing forces right now because of the mishandling, and again the profiling, and then the harassment, quite frankly, from members within the police force, which are neener doers and think that they know who I am, but they don't. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. So all of these firearms, I'm glad they're off the streets, and that we have to continue on with the firearms enforcement. And I hope that I inspired some people to actually be a bit more assertive and aggressive. And then finally, you can only collect so much information before you go through with the bust, right? So what's the threshold of evidence, right? How much evidence do you need in order to establish that this person is going to continue the behavior no matter what? So then you have to make the arrest and stop it from happening. So moving forward, I'm pissed. I don't have my shotgun. I don't have my rifles. Where the fuck are they? I'm tired of, I get tired of people treating me like a child, as if I'm irresponsible, as if I'm just sort of some sort of dope head. We can prosecute our own people very easily. All of a sudden, a good person gets executed on the roadside, and the body gets thrown in the ditch, or it gets taken to a pig farm somewhere. And the sales of these firearms and the drugs, especially, what worries me is the psilocybin, because psilocybin is not a recreational drug. It really isn't. I'm speaking from experience here. It is as potent and as long lasting as okay. So I have some San Pedro cacti here. Okay. And if I remember correctly, this is mescaline. But that's only decoration. But again, when we make assumptions, we prosecute the wrong people, and then we ruin the public trust. Simple as that. And again, so the question is where is the money going, right? And the money is going to these extremist groups that, quite frankly, so I'm not gonna make some assumptions. I'm gonna make some logical deductions, because there's a few possibilities. One is a cultural revenge or revolution. The next one is religious or religious connotations. Like it's amazing how much we complicate things when it comes to creating a profile of a person in order to turn them into a punching bag, if not a straw man, right? A straw man argument is the worst kind of argument. So when we go about the logical, the argumentation and the debate as to what someone is, right? The diagnosis and the profile, how it fits in with other people's behaviors. But a lot of things have changed because of the decentralized splinter factions, these lone wolves that get encouraged by bad actors, quite frankly. And okay, so what's the cost? Again, if people want to move forward with their transgender suicide cult, then they have to have some funding to support the surgeries and the hormones, because the government doesn't give a full subsidy. It doesn't. And then you have an opposing faction. So my example I'm going to use is Islamic extremism, right? Say like the Brotherhood of Islam, because those exist. Those people still exist. People still associate and identify with the Black Panthers all these years later, right? The more militaristic and assertive and aggressive organizations, that which don't have enough patience to work with the government in order to bring about real and lasting change, something permanent, something effective, and something that endures. Again, it's not just my opinion, but it's a fact. A lot of these surgeries are irreversible. They're irreversible. And then we consign our children with these puberty blockers and whatnot to the gallows. That's what you're doing. You're killing your own child. You're not just killing their identity. You're killing the person. That's the whole point behind dead naming, right? Oh, I'm not that person anymore. But that's completely and utterly delusional because of the way that genetics actually works. I am a male. I'm 100% male. And it doesn't matter. My bone structure, my DNA, the mitochondria, right? Right down to single cells. Every single cell has a trace of my DNA in it. And it will always be male, no matter what I do. And this conflict with truth and with religious belief, because again, it's a suicide cult. It's associated with the cult of Baal or Baphomet worship, and then some schools of religious mysticism, in which you can have transmutation, or you have demons that are feeding off of negative energy. And so then we feed these demons in order to keep them at bay, in order to keep them in the closet, so to speak, or to keep them in the box, right? Keep them within the covenant, right? The ark, whatever else. This it's just like I'm a little too fatigued to continue on with this right now, but I think you get the picture, right? is this is what always happens when people are trying to establish a new cultural movement. Where's the money going to come from if it's not going to come from a valid source? It's going to get the money's going to get laundered. It's going to be distributed, and then it's going to fund certain people. And these cultural factions are within every single organization and church within society. And so this is the most challenging, one of the most challenging eras of law enforcement that has ever existed since the inception of the police. You know, again, I don't support defund the police, but that's the reason why it was pushed forward. Because if you defund the police, they can have more illegal activity without any scrutiny. They can raise their funds, and then they can make themselves a Moshiach or a new Antichrist in order to further a self-fulfilling prophecy of Armageddon. I'm not going to mock you as a viewer for not knowing this, but the fact that I have to be so aggressive about it is really a warning sign. It really is, And again, me being involved in aviation is one of those industries, along with automotive, in which the drugs and the guns pass through. And after, especially after the whole Epstein ordeal, the wool was pulled off from so many people's eyes, and so many people woke up to the after effects and the fallout of trafficking. And what trafficking does is it destroys societies. Destroys it, right? There's a reason, again, as I just said in the previous video before doing Shirtless Bro, that we have borders for a reason. We have rules and legislation for a reason. And we have a social contract for a reason. Because without these things, you might as well kill yourself. You might as well kill the entire society, the entire bloodline. And, that's the way some people are, is that they get so angry with righteous indignation, a religious indignation, that they're fever and they feed off of this negativity. They feed off of it. And then they get in front of the entire community with their charisma and their psychopathy. And then no one wants to tell them that they're wrong anymore. This is the path to hell. And again, some religious people, they get involved with this trafficking. They infiltrate because they feel that if they don't get involved and if they don't police it themselves, and if they don't try to hold back the worst behavior in other people, but then they expose themselves to even greater threats. Because life is not a video game. It's not a video game. Every decision matters. And I, in the past, have supported law enforcement in different ways. But, this spooks people out, right? It spooks people off. Because, it's a requiem. It's a requiem for innocence. We all have, in our lives, killed someone with, again, that's not an admission of guilt. We've all killed someone via the internet. Every single one of us. Because of the near instantaneous nature and the potency of propaganda or misinformation or, vigilantism, crowd justice, the rise of these movements and so on and so forth, which feel and think that they can do a better job, but then they get to the position of power and then they realize, holy shit, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. And then the paralysis thereafter, right? The grief and the suffering. This is Lady Liberty. And lightning can strike twice in the same spot. So again, congratulations. I hope you keep these keep this video in mind, because there's always the chance that we end up executing the wrong person. We end up running the wrong person up the flagpole because they couldn't communicate, right? Or we can't make disabled people into informants or agents. You just can't do it, not unless they prove they have the threshold of understanding and judgment. But with the infighting and whatever else is happening right now, right? Because, chickens are coming home to roost, Anyways, thank you. I appreciate it. And this was not a failure. And neither am I.